What's going on? My name's Caleb. I'm a full-time reseller. I don't want to waste any of your time. I'm just going to jump into the very best items that I sold in April. Be on the lookout for these items at your thrift stores, flea markets, garage sales. Flip them for big money on eBay. Put some more money in your pocket. I'm just going to show you guys the items that sold for $40 plus shipping or more. And pretty much all these items I actually found at thrift stores, so you definitely can find these too. A couple of them I did buy on online arbitrage sales, and when we get to those, I will definitely mention that and roughly how much I paid for each item. This first sale is a Tommy Bahama golf polo. This was really interesting. It sold for $40 plus shipping. I love picking up Tommy Bahama new with tags. It sells so much better than the pre-owned stuff, and there's still lines within the pre-owned stuff that sell really well, especially the Supima polos in bigger sizes. I probably would have left this one if it was used at size XL, but if this was 3XLB, I still would be picking that up and selling it for about $25 plus ship. You can see here I listed this on March 27th and sold it on April 17th. So it took about 20 days to sell. This next item is a pair of Primo golf pants. You can see the logo here on the tag, and it's also on the button. These sold for $40 plus shipping on an offer, and they sold in only 4 days. I do remember paying about 15 bucks for these at the thrift store. This next item is a pair of new with tags Levi's. You can see here that the size is 33 by 34, which is a great size for Levi's. They are the 505 cut, and I listed on March 15th and sold on April 28th, so just over a month to sell. And I find these relatively often at my thrift store for anywhere between $10 and $15, so that's probably what I paid for these. Going back to Tommy Bahama new with tags, this snap mock neck sweater sold for $40, the full price plus shipping, and it sold in a little over a month. I think I picked this up for $15 as well. This next one is a fun one. This one was a Monster Energy camo windbreaker. The Monster Energy licensed apparel actually sells really well. This one is in excellent condition, and it was size 3XL. Sold on an offer for $42 plus shipping, and sold in just 3 days. This item is your friendly reminder to look up anything that's new with tags that you don't recognize. I've never really picked up this CCM brand unless it is actual hockey jerseys, but I know that they make hockey apparel. This was new with tags, so I actually just typed in this information right on the tag here to find the comps on eBay. And these sold for $40 plus shipping on a 10% off offer, and they sold on April 4th and listed on March 19th, so sold in less than a month. I remember these ones, they were tagged at 15 at my thrift store, but I got them on half off and an additional discount day, so paid about $6 for these. This Helly Hansen rain jacket sold for actually $40 plus shipping. It did sell in only 3 days. I was very quick to accept an offer because it was missing the belt, because this model normally has a belt with it. This was from the Helitech line, which you can see on this little embossment on the sleeve, which is their upgraded line of Helly Hansen, and that's why I was willing to pick it up for 15 bucks, and I sold it quick for 40. These Hokas sold for $40 plus shipping, the full asking price. I did have to list them a little bit below the market because they were very, very dirty. The bottoms looked dirty, but this is actually just the design on the tread, and the tread was actually in perfect condition. So that's why I was still waiting to pick these up, even though the white still had some discoloration on it. Because of the discoloration, the thrift actually priced these lower, so I think I paid about $9-10 bucks for these. I sold them quick for 40. They sold in 12 days. If you caught one of my recent live streams, I showed off this sale already. This is a pair of Doc Marten Chukka boots. They sold for 40 plus shipping, and they sold in about 25 days. This Brooks Brothers shirt actually was a retail arbitrage find. As you can see, it's still new with the tags here. It was the Regent cut, which when I looked up Brooks Brothers Regent 18-34 white dress shirt, there were none listed in this size, and it seemed like they were selling for $40 to $50. I listed at 50 and took an offer for 45, and it sold in 19 days. I paid 18 at Marshall's. This Polo Ralph Lauren sweater sold for $40 plus shipping. I paid $15 for this at a local Goodwill. It sold in 17 days. This is actually the second time it sold. It already got returned once, so I was just happy to move it again for the 40 bucks. Robert Graham is a hit or miss brand these days, but this had an awesome like paisley pinstripe pattern with some cool embroidery on it. It also was size 2XL, which helped the value as well. This sold for the full price of $50 plus shipping, and sold in only 5 days. I picked this up for $9 at my local thrift. I'm not French, so I cannot pronounce this name, but these are some vintage baggy jeans. I actually accepted an offer for $45 plus shipping on these. I didn't want them to get buried in the algorithm, even though I listed them way above the market, hoping that I could get a quick sale. I was still happy to get 45, and they sold in a month. I remember picking these up for $6 at my local thrift. Here's another $6 pair of jeans I picked up recently. These were Diesel Destruct. the slim stretch model. They sold for the full asking price of $45 plus shipping and sold in only 6 days. Here's the tag and where I found the model name, Destruct, right there. When you're looking through the jeans at the thrift store, I try to look through so that that back patch is what I'm looking at. And then when I don't see a patch on the back right hip, then I look inside for the tag or look at the button to find out the brand. This Levi's denim jacket sold for $44 plus shipping. It sold the same day I listed it. I can't remember how much I paid for this, but probably $15 or so. This LL Bean women's jacket sold in just over a month for $44 plus shipping. It was new with tags, which definitely helped the value. The retail price was $100 on this. And this was from the LL Bean signature line. I remember paying about $15 for this item. This next one is a very random sale. This is a Bluetooth helmet intercom system for a motorcycle helmet. It's over $50 plus shipping. I bought this in a bulk buy of hard goods from somebody that was closing their eBay store. I'm weighing the profit on that, and this is just one of the death pile items that I just never got to. I found it recently, listed it. It was all new in the package. Anything specific to motorcycle riding does tend to have some value from my experience. So if you see random motorcycle items sitting on the shelf, be sure to look it up. This Polo Ralph Lauren rugby shirt sold for $45 plus shipping. It definitely had some cool embroideries and little details on it. Even on the collar here, I thought that was really cool. I paid about $6 for this, and it looks like this sold in a little under a month. These Reebok sneakers sold for $50 plus shipping. It shows here that they sold in only 3 days, but I actually had these priced at $75. I took down the listing, took new pictures, relisted it for $50, and they sold within 3 days. So I just had it priced too high above the market. Here's another random hard goods sale from that bulk buy I had last year. This Orbi, I think it's a Netgear router, sold for $50 plus shipping, and it sold in 24 days. Here's another new with tags Tommy Bahama item. These were the Boracay flat front chino pants. These sold for $50 plus shipping. I got these from a buy sell trade store similar to like a Plato's Closet, where my average cost of goods that day was $10. These cool Stealth Renegade pants sold in 6 days for the full asking price of $50 plus shipping. These ones were an upgraded line of their Renegade convertible pants, which is why they sold for more than a typical pair of cool pants. I paid $15 for this poncho shirt. This item sold in 1 day for $50 plus shipping. I was just happy to sell this thing super fast after paying $15 for it and make a nice profit. This is definitely a good brand to be on the lookout for. You guys know how much I love my Eddie Bauer jackets. This Eddie Bauer jacket sold for $50 plus shipping. When I saw this, the first thing I noticed was this little logo down here, which is actually Storm Down 800, which is a really great line of Eddie Bauer jackets to be on the lookout for. It is from the First Ascent model as well. I knew those two things were going to elevate the value. I paid $15 for this at the thrift store, but once again, it sold in only 5 days for $50 plus shipping, so still a great flip. If you're watching reselling YouTube videos, I'm sure you've heard about Rowback golf polos by now. Sold for the full price of $55 plus shipping, and it even had a little snag in a very obvious spot in the front. Just a great brand to be on the lookout for. This next sale is a pair of Wolf and Shepherd shoes. This is the crossover loafer. It's kind of like a dress shoe on top and a sneaker on the bottom. And the logo is actually just kind of imprinted on the insole there. And here's their little Wolf logo on the tongue. These sold for $55 plus shipping and sold in about 14 days. These UFOS shoes sold for $55 plus shipping. This is a kind of an interesting model, not the typical like slides that you'd normally see, which is probably why they sold for so much. And these sold in just 5 days. I actually only paid $5 for these at a local Goodwill, so this was one of my best finds of the month. These Grayson golf pants sold for $58 plus shipping on an offer. This is the logo that you're looking for. This little wolf logo, and it also has the wolf on the little buttons here as well. These sold in just under a month. I did pay up $20 for these, so I was happy that they sold for close to $60. This next one is an interesting one because I took a decent item and turned it into an amazing item with just a little bit of knowledge. This item is a Zero Restrictions Tour Series jacket, which is already a pretty decent jacket in my opinion. But this did have the old course at St. Andrews embroidered on it, which I know is a very prestigious golf course. So I listed this very high for the market, about $40 over the market price, and it ended up selling on an offer for $65. It did take almost 2 months to sell because I did have it priced quite high. But honestly, for a $6 item at the thrift store to flip it into $65, just with that little bit of extra knowledge, I was really happy about this sale. Here's the logo that you're looking for. This is still a good pickup at $6 even without the embroidery, but the embroidery is what made it a really excellent item. These Belstaff pants sold in a day for $75 plus shipping. This was the tag. It said Trailmaster Professional by Belstaff. I believe this to be like motorcycle riding apparel. And I actually found this new for $275. So I probably could have held out and got 100 or maybe even got a little bit more. There were none of this model listed or sold on eBay. So I just kind of made up my price and I was happy to accept an offer on day one. These On running pants sold for $80 plus shipping. When you see this little OnCloud logo, you know it's going to be a good item. The nice thing about the OnCloud clothing is that it says the model name right here. It's actually just running pants, which is pretty basic on this model. And it also says the gender and the size. So everything you need to look up the item and list the item is just right there on the tag. I paid about $5 for these and they sold in just under a month for $80 plus shipping. I paid $5 for this vintage Dickies blanket line jacket. If this was a Carhartt, it probably would be a $150 jacket, but I definitely wasn't complaining finding this really cool vintage jacket with the blanket lining. It sold in one day, so maybe I even undersold it at $80 plus shipping. This next sale is a pair of mother jeans. They were new with tags and they were flare leg, which both of those things really helped increase the value. I had these listed for $150 for a couple months with no offers. I think because I just was kind of shooting for the moon because it was such an on style cut and they were new with tags. I decided to take the listing down and relist it at a more affordable price of $120. I got a $90 offer and I accepted. And that happened just 2 days after I relisted the item. On the mother jeans, somewhere on the inside, it will say the cut and the color, which makes it really easy to list these accurately and get accurate comps. And of course, it has the patented little M on the back pockets. If you're just scanning through the jeans, this is what you're looking for. All right, the next item is an amazing BOLO brand. Definitely be on the lookout for it. The brand is 1620 Workwear. This is what the tag looks like. This is what the back of the pants looked like. And it also had this little 1620, a little tag thing on the back. These sold for $90 plus shipping in just 5 days. When I first found these, I felt that they were super high quality. I'd never heard of the brand before. It turns out it is a Huckberry brand, which typically means the brand's gonna be pretty decent. When I typed in 1620 workwear pants, the sell-through rate was 500% and they were selling for anywhere from $75 to $120 or so. There is a double knee model that does sell consistently for $120 or more, but this is just a single knee model. And I was happy to, sell it for $90. I picked these up for $6 at the thrift store. My best sale of the month are these Hoka hiking shoes. I did actually pick these up online arbitrage from urbanoutfitters.com. I paid $60 and I got 2 pairs. I sold the first pair for $145, which I was really stoked about, and I have 1 pair left to sell. If you're wanting to make more money reselling online, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and also turn on notifications because I love going live and answering your guys' questions specific to your business.